so I have to move you. So Ryan's trying to go. He's going to simulcast on his channel as well. You dropped me off. I came back, and then I hung out with. Hey, I got a notification, Humphrey family.
Oh no.
It's like, we got Ryan dropped me off, and then I went and hung out with some other YouTubers. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually at a YouTube conference, which is the Video Marketing World Conference. I went and hung out with these guys. Now I'd already eaten. But I went to the bar, I talked to Erin, I helped put the kids to bed.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked to Erin, and she said, you sound tired. And I said, I am tired because I've been up since like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I did sleep on the plane. I took 1,000 little naps on the plane. But I then went to the bar, and she's like, you need to get a Red Bull and vodka. That'll help you stay awake.
I was talking to you on Tuesday night at like almost 11, and you were still up.
I was still up. We were recording the podcast, getting all that stuff done. It was crazy. I think I had like 4 hours of sleep that night. So anyway, I went up to the bar, got a, I'll help you with your pink eye in just a second. I went and got a Red Bull and vodka. $13.
Oh, wow.
But the drink that you bought at your hotel was probably pretty darn close.
It was close to that. Yeah, I think it was
it's just
10.
insane how much stuff costs in this place. But it is what it is. Pink eye. We go, if you have pink eye in a calf or a cow, penicillin does help. You can also get these puffer needles, which I've used a couple times, and you can puff this pink eye powder straight into their eyeball. But I honestly didn't think I would be giving advice about cows while I'm sitting in Texas. I really don't have a plan for this, so we're winging it here.
Do you normally have a piece of paper that you go off of, or at least an idea of what you want to talk about normally?
No, I have Erin.
Oh, yeah.
I have Erin, and Erin is a, not so much a planner, but she has an idea in her mind, and she's very good at steering things. People always say that I'm steering the conversation, and sometimes it's not me. I've interviewed a lot of people, and I've done a lot of stuff like that, but Erin is here. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
How are you? Erin is actually at home back in Wyoming, and she'll be popping on and doing the typing thing.
I noticed when y'all are live that she does she reads a lot of the comments.
She does. The funny thing that I notice is, and we've had people mention this, that they wait until they see me look at the comments, and then they'll really start typing stuff and trying to get it. Now, a little different here tonight because I'm using my phone, so I'm kind of counting on Erin to keep an eye on anything, because I get your guys' messages pop up for literally like a second or two, and you can see it. They're gone.
I was impressed that I can't even read that. I was impressed that you could read the pink eye.
Oh, really? You got your glasses on, man.
These are old glasses, and they don't do nothing for me.
That's funny. That's funny. How are you feeling, Erin? Are you feeling a little bit? I'm going to ask Erin questions and make her type. Are you feeling any better, Erin? I just got off the phone with her, but we'll talk about why I'm in Dallas a little bit more coming up. But how are you feeling? Is she going to answer me? Can you say my name on YouTube? Joe Yang. I just said your name on YouTube. That's crazy. Erin said she's still sick, but she's feeling better. She's this thing when the kids give you a cold. You've got kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do they bring home colds all the time?
The first day, or it was like the second day of school, one of my kids came home sniffling.
Oh yeah.
And it's as soon as they go back to school, it feels like they all get sick, and then they bring it home, and then their little brother gets sick, and then I'm holding the baby, so I'm getting sick too. So
copped in the face. I always say that every time I get on a plane, planes are just big germ-filled tubes to me. It's like living in a syringe. So I know I'm going to come home and be sick. Yeah. But we'll get through it. We have. I was talking to Matt today. I don't know if Matt is here yet. But Matt is usually one of our moderators, and you've seen him on there. And I was talking to him on the phone today, and I said I'm ready to go home. I've been here for a day.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go. But he said, I thought you guys would have taken a little bit of a break after Farm to Table, and kind of regroup a little bit. But our Farm to Table video came out, and he said that Erin's already planning the next one, and so there's no such thing as a break. I'm going to try to read a couple comments here as they fly by. Well, now, okay, glad you made it to Dallas. Okay. Oh, somebody did ask, the Packer game is on. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I really can't compete with football.
Well, it's preseason. It's not important.
I'm actually in Dallas, Texas, in Grapevine, Texas. I'm at the Gaylord Texan Resort, and I'm here for a YouTube conference that's called Video Marketing World. We were invited to come down to it. And basically what it is a bunch of big YouTubers, a bunch of YouTube consultants, and they come down, or I came down here for them to teach me how to make better videos for you, and how to, keep things fresh. Obviously it's really easy to fall into a groove You know this.
Yeah.
It's easy to, once you figure out how to do something easy, or you figure out how to do something, it's easy just to kind of get into that groove. And the longer, sometimes some grooves are good, some are bad. And we just, we're always looking for new ways to do things.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that we talked about today was, incorporating maybe, and you guys can tell me if I'm barking up the wrong tree here, but hey, Bill, how are you? I think it says Bill. Yep. Little tiny letters, man. It is weird not being home on the farm. Very odd. One of the things we're looking at doing is doing maybe a special Facebook group for people that want to be a part of a Facebook group. One of the things we talked about was the fact that, there's so many farmers and ranchers that we want to kind of start to give them a place where you can go and, you have pink eye. You don't have to rely on me. You could actually go to our Facebook group and say, hey, anybody else here that has to deal with this? And it becomes kind of like a forum.
That's smart. My wife is a member of a chicken group, and it's got thousands of members. And whenever somebody has a question, every half an hour somebody's posting a new picture of a chicken. What is this on my chicken, or what kind of chicken is this? And
so if we do that, and we have like the Our Wyoming Life help desk or forum or whatever we want to call it, then people could come in and post their deal and ask for help, or even people that have questions, because I can't answer everything. And hey, Stephen, how are you? I can't answer everything, so we end up questions, and it could be a life or death question. And if I don't get to it, I feel guilty because I'll see it like 2 days later. And it's like, hey, my cow's dying because she has an arrow in her head. What do I do? But I would hope that in that situation, you would call the vet. But
you wouldn't want to be responsible for somebody's cow dying because you didn't see a chat message or something.
Exactly. So tonight, my plan, we're done. I'm done for the day with the YouTube conference. There's a reception going on upstairs with tons of YouTubers up there, and I'm really kind of hoping that I can take you guys with me. It's a bit of a walk. And we're gonna have to get a wheelchair for Ryan, but or at least like one of those little electric scooters. And Ryan and I went downtown in Dallas yesterday, and they have these electric scooters. They're, what's the best way to like a razor?
I would say it's like an electric razor.
Right, and they basically, you go up to it, you turn on your app, or you have an app on your phone or something, and then you can take these things. And they just have them. They look like somebody would just walk up and steal.
It's kind of like city biking, like in New York, where you can rent a bike just by swiping your.
Yeah, and those things might have like a card swipe on them or something. But anyway, we went downtown. We went to Dealey Plaza, and I'm a huge JFK nut and history nut in general, and I'm big fan of JFK and a big fan of President Lincoln, and so that's why we have. Aaron's going to yell at me for this, but that's part of the reason we have a kid named Lincoln.
I've always wondered that.
Yeah. So we went down, we saw the school book depository, we went for a tour through that. We went really down on the street and got some cool video and stuff that I'll probably be sharing with you on Sunday if I can figure out how to incorporate that into a ranch video. We'll see. I'll figure something out.
I've never really been a huge JFK buff, but going to that and learning about it, it makes me want to look into it.
It's crazy because it's right here in your home state.
Yeah,
and it's a huge part of history. If you look at, you think back, and we were talking to your dad about it yesterday. People know where they were when JFK was shot. They know where they were when the Challenger exploded. They know where they were when 9/11 happened. Those watershed moments, in American history. And I'm sure it was the same way when Lincoln was shot. My great grandpa, maybe. Something like that. I can't remember how far back that would go, but I'm sure when Lincoln was shot and he got the news on Telegram or
CNN or
Fox News, whatever channel he was watching at that time, that was probably a big deal. So I keep on getting alert on my phone. There we go. So you can ask us questions still. Obviously, we're not doing this at home, which is very odd. Aaron's not next to me. Aaron is much prettier than Ryan. I'm going to tell you that much straight off. And the whisker thing, man.
Yeah. Aaron's beard is much nicer than mine.
We should actually do get you to shave your beard
on camera.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh man, I don't know.
Did I bring up a set of clippers? We could just get this done now.
How about just right down the middle, and I can just have little ponytails or something.
Who's that? Do you remember that wrestler? I'll think back to anybody out there that's as old as I am or older. The guy, he was around when Andre the Giant was and Hulk Hogan, but he had the beard with the little rubber bands all over in his beard.
I can't remember.
Somebody will help me out with this, if anybody's still there. There's 200 and some odd people here. We
Okay.
should,
I have. Oh, surprise.
I'm sorry. Probably everybody that would be on yours watching.
Or
is
watching
over here.
yours,
Okay, here
yeah.
we go. Somebody's going to say it. Okay, that's totally political. Better, right? Okay, maybe I'm just behind them. Captain Lou Albino.
That's
there
right.
We go. Thank you very much. That's who you would remind me of if you did the rubber band thing.
My wife says don't cut
I'm
the
not
beard. See, my wife isn't even on my.
Your wife isn't even on your live stream. She's on mine. No, I'm not old enough to remember JFK, but I am old enough to read a book, and that's what I've done. And I'm not like the Oliver Stone movie and stuff like that. That stuff kind of drives me nuts. But reading about it or that kind of thing. I'm a huge history buff, so I don't remember it. But hi, Curtis. How are you? I don't know if we're getting comments in real time like we do at home. It might be a little bit delayed. So if I am delayed, we can do that too. So no, cut the beard. Fun fact: Captain Lou Albino played Mario in the Super Mario TV show for kids. I did not know that.
Oh wow!
And people are all over the beard. Don't cut the beard, man. Don't do it. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any questions you'd like answered. I'm not really sure how long we're going to go. We're going to go until we run out of content. I either run out of stuff to talk about, and then I'll take you for a little trip around the hotel. Andre the Giant.
Although we probably could shoot the bull all night, probably.
We probably could, and then
it would be boring for them, but.
I just realized you use my water bottle as a stand for your camera.
Do you need it?
Now I want to drink it.
Because I can use it. I can use mine. See, look at that.
And I do apologize. The comments go by fast for us, so we're really trying to read these. The Fort Worth Stockyards. I actually did go down there yesterday. That was my first stop. I got picked up at the airport and taken down to Fort Worth and got a chance to go through the stockyards. And the funny thing was, and I didn't know this, is at the stockyards they move cattle every day, twice a day through like the streets. And the guy that was driving me was trying his best to beat this cattle drive.
Oh yeah.
So he is flying like a maniac down through the streets and up and down and through like alleys and the alleys in that area of town, they have like cattle alleys and cattle gates and all kinds of crap all over the place. So it was almost like being back at home. I was like, oh, there's gates and there's chutes and there's
I always pictured it as like more of a ranch where you had to drive into it, but is it just like
it's like part of town?
Oh, okay.
They do have, it's like a cobblestone, not cobblestone, but like a brick street.
Yeah.
That you do have to, and so he's flying over this brick street the whole way. But it was interesting. So we did beat the cattle drive and did get a chance to go to a restaurant called. There's your wife. She says hi. Got a chance to go to Cooper's, which is a barbecue restaurant. 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. I think it was 11:30. Maybe it was 11 a.m. I don't remember. We were trying to beat it. My flight came in at like 10:30, so we were really trying to.
Was it good?
Move through
Was it good barbecue?
It was good. I've never been to a Texas barbecue before, so it was a little different. You go in and Captain Lou Albino died at 76 years old. I did not know that. You go in, there's a big barbecue pit, and they have like 50 different cuts of meat on this thing. So there's everything from sausage to brisket to pork chops, and you say, I want that pork chop.
Yeah.
They put that pork chop on a piece of paper, and then somebody weighs it, and then they put a sticker on it, just like in the grocery store. So they put a $6.95, whatever it is, and then you go down the line, and then it's kind of like a buffet. So you grab coleslaw or whatever else you're eating. And then you go up and you pay for it. And then I was waiting for a plate. They don't give you a plate.
Just a
piece of paper.
Oh, they give you paper?
They gave me like a piece of
newspaper. Was it on a tray?
It was on a tray.
Okay, yeah.
And then they gave me like a piece of newspaper.
Yeah.
So, and at first I was like, luckily I was with people that knew what was going on. And I was smart enough when I walked in, I was like, okay, how does this work? Because I don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you when that lady handed me the newspaper, I'd have been like, I don't want to read the newspaper.
Yeah.
I don't,
No, thank you.
No, thank you. So I ended up, so then you go through, and then the nice thing is, so you've paid, and then there's more food that's like free.
Yeah.
So you go through and you get biscuits or beans or whatever else you're getting, and then you go sit down at like these picnic tables.
Yeah.
And you eat, and I'm with like executives from a company at this time that I can't talk about, so I don't even know why I brought it up. I should have just said I was by myself. But anyway, I'm sitting with people in suits, and we're sitting at a picnic table eating off of newspaper with barbecue that's dripping all over themselves, but they love it. So
that's what the tie is for.
I guess.
They go with the
And they
sauce.
have very, very like artistic type ties, so I don't even know if you would notice
Yeah.
if there was a barbecue stain on it. There probably, maybe it was like a nice tie to
A
start with.
barbecue stain on a white T-shirt.
Yeah, Tim's ground, man. So that was my day yesterday. And then, well, I did this. Then they brought me back to the hotel. And then Ryan showed up. And then we went to Dealey Plaza. And then we went in there and had a really expensive drink. And then today I've been spending time hanging out with other YouTubers and some pretty cool guys that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Yeah.
And just down to earth, laid back type people that are actually really teaching us stuff. So, oh, Aaron is typing. Okay. Would you ever get a new mower such as a disc binder or a baler? I would. We had the swather, of course. The swather got sold to help pay for hay, but it's one of those things where you have, double equipment. You have the sickle mower works great, except you have to rake, which is kind of a pain. I like disc binds. Gilbert really never had a swather. He always used the mowers. But I like swathers. I think they're fun to drive. I think they're handy because they're putting it in a windrow for you if you have hay. But either you may have to rake them together too. So we would if we could. It's one of those things. It's like you have to really, especially now with buying hay and stuff like that, you really have to pick and choose what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So what kind of medicine do you give to your calves when you're branding? When we brand, I can answer this for you because I just answered it for somebody else. We give nasal gin, which is this is my dress hat, by the way. We do nasal gin, we do Pyramid 5, and we do Pyramid 5 with pre-response, and we do a 7-way vaccine. So there are 3 people over here watching you.
Yeah, I got 3 people on my
Have you had any questions? Because I feel like I'm totally done.
No, I haven't had any questions on my channel. It's most likely my wife and my dad watching it.
It's all good. You got a thumbs up, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm sure people over here, who's this guy and where the heck is Aaron? I'm sure.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, excuse me. This guy, I need a drink now.
Usually you got a glass with ice and
something, but I don't have another $15 to go buy a big old glass of something. This is God, my throat. I've been talking half the day. You can tell.
yeah.
This is Ryan Humphrey from Humphrey Family. I keep on wanting to say Holsteins, but it's not. It's Homestead. They just changed their channel. Ryan had a ranch here in Texas and ended up having to sell the ranch.
Yeah.
So now he has moved into town, and you are rebuilding an old house?
No. We will be doing
remodeling
some refurbishing to it. It's a 1919, I think, is when the house was built. But it's got good bones. It's in great shape. We're going to keep the YouTube channel going. We did sell our cows off and downgraded. We moved into town to this new home, but we have a nice huge chicken run and coop and everything. We have a nice area for gardening. So the YouTube channel is going to keep going.
You have comments.
What animals were on your ranch? Well, we had Holstein cows, and we had goats for a little while, and dogs and chickens, and I'm trying to think of. We had plans to get pig. My wife wanted pigs for the longest time, and I held off, and we never did get pigs. But
pigs are fun, man.
Yeah,
they're fun until you have to put them on a truck.
I think we just needed a better place for them. That's why I never really pulled the trigger on it, because I didn't really have a place set up for them. And
right.
We had a pen, but we were using it for the garden, and so yeah. I appreciate the comment. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's 226 people on our channel, and I know that it's hard to get a comment in edgewise. So if you head over to Ryan's channel, Humphrey Family Homestead, is it Homestead or Homesteads?
Singular.
Yeah. Homestead. Humphrey Family Homestead.
Yeah.
You can probably get a word in edgewise over there.
Yeah.
Just giving you a little hint there. That might.
Favorite country song or favorite song? Oh man, that's a hard question to answer, because Pandora, I've thumbs up all the good songs, so every song I like comes across. I'm a huge Jason Aldean fan, so anything by Jason Aldean is, especially that he's got the new album out.
Yeah, I've got some good Jason Aldean stories I'll have to share with you one of these days.
There's a video that you did, the lip sync challenge.
Right.
I love that song.
Yeah, and I actually worked with Jason when I worked in radio, and when he was just coming up. And there was times that I'd text when he was younger and didn't have the big thing, all this stuff going on. since then we've totally fallen out of touch pretty much. But we'd be, Aaron and I would be out to dinner when we first started dating, and I'd be talking to Jason Aldi, and
That's
she'd
cool.
be like, "Who are you talking to?" Talking to Jason Aldi. And she didn't know who he was
at the
either.
time.
So it was interesting because when those artists starting up, and you worked in radio as well, they're begging radio stations to play their songs, so they'll do pretty much anything, So it's like, give me your cell phone number, okay?
Yeah. Call me anytime.
Yeah, exactly. So Merle Haggard, I did never meet though. I did never meet Merle Haggard. I think that's what that said. It's hard to read these on these old screens.
I played him a lot on the station that I worked for because it was a today's and classic country, so it was it would go back and forth, and so we'd play the Willie Nelson and the Merle Haggard, but we'd also play Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean.
Yeah, see, and I did work at one of those stations at one time. It was what was it called? It was the tagline. It was today's greatest hits and your all-time favorites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was today's greatest hits and your all-time favorites.
The radio voice.
A little bit. So, let's get some questions down here, and then we'll answer some questions. I think Erin is still back in Wyoming. She is. I did meet George Strait. I actually met George Strait before I was even in radio. But Erin is back in Wyoming, so she's answering questions as well. And then I'm trying to answer them as fast as I can. They do fade off really quick. So I've got a quick one here from Ronnie. See, now it's fading off. I missed it. That's what I hate about it.
Yeah.
Doing the live stream on the phone is a giant pain. When we do it at home, we're actually doing it on a laptop, and we have a separate screen that keeps our comments up for us. And it's a big screen so that we can see all of our comments. Now, this one I can see. There's a super chat from Christy. Now you can go get another drink. Thank you, Christy. Or no, Cindy. Or was it Cindy? It was Cindy. See, that's the little screen, man. I do feel bad, but we're a long way from Wyoming today.
Hello, Zoe. Sorry, shout out.
It's all good. It's all good. That's cool. You can do what you need to do, man. We're here. Has Bubbles ever been ridden? No. Bubbles has been rarely touched by a human being. Good one, Christy. Thank you, Eric.
Which one is Bubbles?
Bubbles is the big red the big red bull.
Okay.
He is actually going to be going away once we were going to get rid of him last year, and we ended up keeping him and putting him through one more season on the ranch. And then this fall, him and another, because we have 7 bulls right now, which is more than what we need. So this fall, he'll be going along with one of I think it's another Red Bull, actually. I think 2 Red Bulls will be going. Well, we got 3 new Red Bulls this spring. So
I did notice a question. Somebody asked you what made you want to introduce the Red Angus into your herd. I think you've had Red Angus.
We've always had Red Angus. I actually like Red Angus bulls a little bit better. They are, for me, they're a little bit more docile. They don't seem to get as cranky. They're just as big, and they probably could do just as much damage, but they just seem to be a little bit more cool, just a little bit more mellow. So do the bulls ever fight? They fight all the time. There's always a struggle for dominance in the herd, especially when the bulls are in with the cows. They're worried about something else that I can't talk about on YouTube. But bow chickie bow bow. But when they get taken off the cows and they go back into their corral, which is very small, it's about 5 acres is where they live all winter long. They really get into this whole idea of who's the boss, and it's an alpha, and a beta. They definitely do get into it. So they'll fight constantly after we put them back into that corral, and they'll do it for about a week, and it's the most nerve-wracking week because they are right on the highway. The fence is right there.
Oh yeah.
That fence isn't the greatest fence in the world either. The fence is supposed to be maintained by the highway department. They don't do it. So I maintain it, but I get mad because it's supposed to be maintained by the highway department. So I'm like,
shout out to the highway department.
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody from the highway department is watching, you can always go fix that fence. But the danger is that they're gonna fight and go through that fence, and then they're on the highway. And it's happened. We one year, a few years ago, and it was before we started YouTube. Somebody called me and said, your bulls are out. And so I went outside. It was early in the morning. This always happens early in the morning. You always get that call at 4 o'clock in the morning. Your bulls are out, or your cows are out, or whatever. They sneak out at night. And I go out, and there's 2 highway patrolmen sitting on the highway. And there's bulls in the ditch, so they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
But the highway patrolmen are sitting there with their lights on, and I maybe I should have a conversation with somebody at YouTube about the bull video. I have. It's been an interesting conversation. The highway patrolmen are sitting in their car and they're just watching the bulls, and I go out and they say, "Are these your bulls?" And yeah, or I'll get them back in. And I asked one of the highway patrolmen, I said, "Do you mind giving me a hand?" And he said, "Yep. I'm staying right in my car." He didn't get out of his car. So luckily I had the gator at that time. And a lot of times when I work with the bulls, I use the gator just for the protection of it. And they knew they were in trouble. A lot of times cows always know they're in trouble when they are. You've been through that.
Do the bulls respond to the cake like the cows? If you had some cake and they needed to follow you with it?
No, not really.
No.
The bulls, they get cake occasionally, but not a lot. And they're not like the cows so much. And the other, even if you have cows out on the highway, the cake thing doesn't work because they're stressed.
Yeah.
They know they're not supposed to be there. It's scary for them. So really trying to, I actually got an email from a sheriff's department last week, and they were asking me about, it was in Washington, I think, and they were asking me about techniques for moving cattle that get out, because they run into that every once in a while, and not enough to where they have like training. But they do run into, we've got a cow out, what do we do? And it was actually I think it was from the sheriff of the department. I actually got two of them. I got one from down here in Texas, but this one was from Washington. And it was from the sheriff of the department, and he said, what can we do? And so I kind of gave him some pointers. I've had that actually come up twice in the last month with sheriff's departments or police departments asking me how to do this. So here's a question for Aaron, but
I got one on mine, actually. It says, what was the best animal on your farm?
On your old farm?
My old farm. I liked my bull, Charlie.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was, all the cows were bottle fed, so they were all friendly, and we loved them. And Annabelle was probably my favorite heifer, but my boy, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite. Unless you count my kids as animals, in which case I'll have to say that.
And you guys had chickens.
Yeah,
and you guys had a garden.
The chickens is more my wife's thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do, I made the nesting boxes and stuff like that, so I lend a hand. But she has her favorite chicken. She calls it Sassy Girl.
Oh.
And it's one. I mean, I can't tell them apart, but she knows which one is that one, and it runs up to her. And
I don't think we've ever named a chicken.
Really?
We've named roosters.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think and that's because if we have just one rooster, it's easy to figure out. I don't think, I'd have to ask Aaron, but I don't think we've ever named a chicken, and we've never named a duck or a goose.
Yeah.
Gilbert was horrible about when he had animals. We had, when Gilbert was alive, we had white cat, black cat, fuzzy cat.
Straight to the point names.
Gilbert just he had two dogs. He had black dog 1 and black dog 2. Or were they called Blackie? I can't remember. Aaron's gonna have to help me out with that. But they were black dogs. And so we very, very simple. We had white cow.
Yeah.
We had Strawberry. Strawberry was probably the most creative one, because Strawberry was a red cow.
Oh, okay.
But her name was Strawberry. So that was probably the most creative animal we had out there. So
we had meat birds. We grew our like 10 meat birds for ourselves and for farmers market, and we named them like fried, broasted.
Oh, that's funny. We had a friend of ours that had Chick-fil-A. We had friends of ours that had turkeys, and they named them Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yeah, that works well too. Why am I so dark in your camera? Must be a lighting issue.
Yeah, I think my screen is actually low anyways. If I turned it up, it might look better.
Well, maybe. What is the weather like? I don't know what the weather's like in Wyoming right now. You can ask Erin now. Erin can answer that one. She's in Wyoming. I know that when I left Wyoming, which was yesterday morning, I left Wyoming, it was 44 degrees. I got off the plane and it was 102.
Our low here in Texas, the morning you left, when you said it was what? 44? Our low was 80 degrees.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was like, I actually contemplated putting on a jacket in Gillette when I got on the plane. And I said, this is stupid. I'm just going to have to drag it around Texas with me. So I didn't, and just kind of froze a little bit. And then as soon as I stepped off the plane, it was like
Yeah.
wet and sweaty and nasty. And the humidity is not horrible.
No, I think it's like 50%.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just hot. It's just hot. So I just had a mod comment and I missed it. Normally, if we weren't doing the two-person thing, I just got a weather alert. Is that Texas weather? Brief rain shower will begin. I don't know if that's Texas or Wyoming. Since there's two of us, we actually have the camera set way back and we're using our phones tonight. So when you see me do this, that's because we're trying to read
And
comment. I'm not coming in to kiss you or nothing.
Really blind, so I get really close to the camera.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm here in Texas, basically for this YouTube conference. My plan is I don't have any clue what time. Do you have a watch on?
Nope.
I don't have any clue what time it is. So at some point we're gonna go. I'm gonna take you with me. We're gonna walk through the hotel and we're gonna go up and check out this YouTube conference and see who's up there and maybe some people that you recognize. Maybe we'll get somebody to pay attention to us. Who knows? The other weird thing that I thought about Texas is I thought when I came to Texas, I wouldn't be the only person in Texas with a cowboy hat on. Apparently, I'm the only person in this part of Texas with a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, the metropolitan areas don't necessarily have a lot of real cowboys.
Yeah, true. That's kind of what I ran into. Even when I was in Fort Worth, I mean, there was, and I keep on having people pass me in. Low battery. I gotta plug it in. I keep having people pass me in the hallway, and they say, "Nice hat." And I think they think that I bought it at the gift shop.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
they do have a gift shop or something here that has a bunch of hats in it. These comments go by way too fast. So I think people think that I bought the hat in the gift shop, and then they're I don't know if they're making fun of me or not.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird deal. I'm gonna plug in my phone though, so bear with me here. Maybe I'm gonna plug in.
I'm sure I'm gonna get that same notification soon.
Bear with me here while I put you through a roller coaster. There we go. Okay. Phone's plugged in. So, Texas. Have you lived in Texas your entire life?
No.
No, you're actually from somewhere
California. I was born and raised in California, and I moved to Texas almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
I moved to Austin originally, and now I'm from up north near Amarillo.
Aaron's got a sister that lives in Austin, so I don't
It's
know
a
how far
fun
is Austin
place.
from here.
From here, it's about 3.5 hours.
Everything's 3 hours from Dallas.
Yeah.
I kind of noticed that.
Yeah.
Everybody says I'm 3 hours from Dallas.
When you start getting into the far west, you're going to go 6-7 hours,
Oh.
and it's like towards El Paso and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
I went to basic training here in Texas, in San Antonio, but that's about the only part of Texas that I've ever really even looked at.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been in Dallas? How long have I been here? This is about 18 hours. I don't know how long I've been here.
Yesterday morning.
I flew in yesterday morning. Yeah. So, and really cool. Off the point. Well, not really off the point, but we had some subscribers that actually came here to the hotel. We did a little meet and greet for a few subscribers, which was really cool because we sat in the lobby, we hung out on the couches, and got to hang out for a little bit, and yes, it was really cool.
I meant to ask them their usernames because I'm sure they're in the chat and comments.
They may be
and stuff.
there. They might be driving home right now.
Yeah,
too. I don't know.
watching while they're driving.
Good luck with that. So yeah, being here in Texas is weird for me, and like this afternoon I was very much ready to go home. I was like, I got crap to do, and but being here and actually learning some YouTube things and talking to the YouTube people and that kind of stuff is actually it's helpful. Trying to figure out what's going on. So, Sean's ducking out already. Good night, Sean.
Somebody asked me if I could live any place in the world, where would I live? And I don't know if I have an answer. I really like Texas, but I've only been here 10 years. I might get sick of the summer heats and want to move to somewhere where it's cooler during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I love Texas. I really don't see myself moving. I just bought a house, so I got roots here for a while.
Right. I get that question occasionally too, where people are like, "You could live anywhere you want," and I always feel like it's a cliche answer, but I'm pretty happy where I'm at. I think we've had the people ask if you could pick up the ranch and move the ranch, because I'm very happy on the ranch.
Yeah.
And so if you could pick up the ranch and move it anywhere you want it, where would you put it? I don't think there's a perfect answer for that too, because anywhere you go, and I've learned this from YouTube and you guys, telling us, about your experiences, that anywhere you go, there's going to be issues.
Yeah.
You know, if there's not enough rain, there's too much rain. If it's
Yeah.
you know, if it's too cold, it's too hot.
Yeah.
Too much snow, there's not enough. Well, I guess there's probably never not enough snow. I'm sure that people in Florida don't complain about not getting snow, but it's not a bad deal. It's just. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Bill, for the time check. Actually, I don't have a clock anywhere in here.
Usually there's an alarm or something.
No, I think they trust you to use your phone. Oh, well, no, there is a clock over on the other side of that lamp, but it doesn't have anything lit up. So they see. Oh well, Bill told me it was 8:45, so we're good. So this is my life for today. Tomorrow I finish up here, and then I really quickly go jump a plane. I get back home in Gillette about midnight, and then I did leave my watch at home. Thanks, Aaron. Can you mail me my watch by tomorrow? Then I get back on a plane, I'm back in Gillette at midnight, and then we are at Farmer's Market at 6. So it'll be a quick turnaround. And that, you know, like Matt and I were talking like about, you know, the fact that we just don't slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you run into this problem, but it always seems like you finish up one job and then you've got another one to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's always something waiting right there.
When we had the big property, there was always something to do, and you know, my day was full. And a lot of people think cows are you put them out to graze and you have nothing to do with them. Well, it's sort of true, but then you have fences to mend, you have to feed, make sure the water is in it, and so there is work to be done. And I'm maybe not as busy as you, but
yeah, I think you're as busy as you make yourself too.
Yeah,
I mean, there are times on the ranch where if I say I'm not doing anything today, I can do that. I can not do anything. The problem with not doing anything is that eventually you have to do something. And every day that you don't do something, it always seems like that's 2 days that now you have to make up.
Yeah.
You know, you take one day off, go on vacation, you go to Dallas, whatever it may be. It's always, double that.
So what kind of work is going to be waiting for you when you get back?
Well, Aaron's already planning the next farm to table dinner, and I'm sure there's going to be buku planning with that. The other bad thing about these YouTube conferences is you get done with this and now you have 50 things that you have to go home and do. For the YouTube channel, you know, we talked about the Facebook group that we might do, which I think is kind of a good idea to be able to give some, you know, people a place to connect.
Yeah.
But we also have a new, Erin said she's got it all under control. Awesome. Can you get the new website up and going? Get the store going for me. We're gonna get all that done. And this is all on the YouTube side of things. This is none of the ranch stuff. But we're gonna get. This is Ryan, by the way. I think they're asking about what's your name.
Store.
Oh wow, you're wearing my white shirt. That's awesome. We're gonna get the store up and running on the website, which means we're gonna be able to start selling beef jerky. And I've got belt buckles that we're gonna start putting up on the website. I've got. Aaron's got to get a cookbook ready to go by Christmas, or actually before Christmas, if they're going to be printing it. I don't know how that's going to work out. Their hope is to have the cookbook ready before Christmas.
That'd make a nice gift.
It would. I think so. I think they're going to try to do like a limited printing before Christmas, and then really kick it into gear. I think we're going to try to do an ebook version too that we can sell online.
I like those.
You know, so that you can just get the ebook and download it to your iPad or whatever and be able to thumb through it that way, and rather than buy the physical book. It'd probably be a little cheaper too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then there's on the ranch side of things, I mean, we get home, I've got to start getting ready for hunters. We have hunters coming in October. So I've got to get so we cleaned out the shop. Everything from the shop went into the barn. So the barn, and Aaron's going to yell at me too, but the barn it looks like a bomb. And part of the barn, the sales barn area of the barn, the hunters use. So I've got to get that all cleaned up. We had some horrible flooding issues in there with all the rain. The water moves in there. So we're going to get all that cleaned up.
Same group of hunters that came last time?
Well, we always have different hunters, but the first week is going to be the same hunters that were featured in our video from last year. So, and I have some things planned for them. I hope they're not watching, but I have some practical jokes planned with the local game warden.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to mess with them pretty hardcore while they're here. I might have to get a hold of one of them and get him in on the joke. I really hope nobody's watching here. If they are, then I just blew all my
the surprise.
But one of them, well, if somebody's watching, you can be in on the joke. See, I think one of the hunters has to be like in on it to sell it.
Yeah.
But we've got some hidden camera stuff we're gonna do.
That's cool.
And working with the game warden is gonna be a kick because he wants to mess with them. Because they've had some issues with the game warden in the past, so he wants to come in and mess with them. So it should be a lot of fun.
That's cool.
So he set it up to be haunted. I do have a plan for Halloween, and hey Aaron, is Nick there? Because if Nick is not there, I want to tell everybody about the Halloween prank for Nick, since we're speaking of pranking. Eric got on this picture, you might have saw it on Facebook. Somebody took a fake snake and put it in a cooler, and then they tie it up. Now Nick, if anybody doesn't know who Nick is one of our neighbors. He comes up and helps us brand all the time. He was at Farm to Table, he helped us out there. And we were going to do that, the free beer on the cooler, and then put it in his shop, and then set up a camera in his shop and just wait for him to come in and see it and lift it up, and the snake will scare the crap. You might just die.
Yeah, that's good.
So if not, we get a snuff film out of it. But so we got that plan. But ranch wise, I mean, it's just everything seems to come up. We got to start getting ready for winter. There's higher elevations in Wyoming that have already gotten snow.
Oh wow!
And if you believe the hype, we're going to have an early fall at least. And our fall usually lasts like a week. So we go fall, winter, boom, boom. So we'll be getting ready for winter. We got calves to sell coming up here before too long. Preg checking. We got 2 rounds of preg checking to do, and all this has to be done theoretically before the first snow falls.
Yeah.
Never works that way.
Generally, when does that come?
When do it's usually snowing by my birthday, so mid-November. We're starting to have some good snow, but it's not uncommon to have snow like on Halloween.
Yeah.
A lot of times too. So we end up dealing with that. So trying to get all that stuff done before the first snow. We still got fence to check. I've still got a windmill to fix. I'm going to do a video on breaking a windmill. I'm going to try to fix it, but I'm going to make a video about breaking a windmill even more, I'm sure. Trying to get these old windmills. We have 2 old windmills that we use to pump water, and they are always broken down. And I'm actually really hoping to someday switch them over to solar. And actually, I'll leave the windmill there, but I'll put a solar panel up and a pump. That might happen someday. So we get into that, and yeah. So hey Matt, how are you? I just the comments roll by so fast here, Matt, that on the phones it's ridiculous. That's the first time I've seen anything from you. There comes a bunch of comments, and they seem to come through in spurts. Have you noticed that? And then I get Aaron's comments. Watching the bighorns will let you know when the snow is close. That's right. So.
Yeah, that super chat popped up, and it was like really easy to read.
Yeah, it was really big when the super chats pop up. Those ones, and they stay up a little bit longer. Yeah. That's just all marketing right there, baby. So they tend to pop up really quick. So they do flow through. But Erin's back home; she's answering stuff as well. So I'm in. Where's Lufkin, Texas? Do you know where that's at?
Yeah, it's down near Houston.
And I missed the name. TK something.
It's kind of in the Houston area.
Okay.
If I had to say like a major place that it was near.
Gotcha. Hi from Japan. Hi Japan. Hi from Texas. Seriously thinking about planning a vacation to try to make the trip to attend. Next farmers market, we do have, if you don't listen to our podcast, please do this week. And I'm going to tell you, not because you can listen to this podcast and then never listen to another one for all I care. But in the podcast that comes out tomorrow morning, which you can find on the Anchor app, you can find on iTunes, you can find it on Google Cast, whatever you're using. We really do ask for your guys' help with a problem that we are having right now on the ranch, and it has to do with farm to table. So if you can listen to the podcast, check it out. It's actually our longest podcast we ever did. It ended up right at about an hour, but we are looking for some help from you guys in trying to solve a problem that we're dealing with farm to table. And part of that problem is making it bigger and still being able to do it.
Yeah.
There's only so much room in the ranch.
Yeah.
And if we do, like we get a tent and it rains or thunderstorms, we're in trouble.
Or wind or something.
Yeah, so we're definitely we're trying to figure out a way to do this. So.
Well, now I feel bad for not listening to the last podcast.
What's that?
I said, now I feel bad for not listening to the last
Well,
podcast.
it actually launches tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
not the podcast is out now, but Mike wouldn't quit talking. In the podcast or now? I don't know. Erin's yelling at me. How many miles away am I? I'm a long ways away, and she still yells at me.
The leach is very long.
It is. It's one of those extendable ones, and then she's got that button she can push at the table.
Yeah, retractable.
Just yanks me back. So, so if you can listen to the podcast tomorrow, the new one launches tomorrow, that would help us out. And then what we're asking you to do is either send us an email or talk to us about, somehow figure out how to, send us an email, or you can actually leave us a voicemail on the podcast,
That's
which is
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we can talk about what
And
we're
you
doing.
can play those, right? Don't you sometimes play the voicemails that you get on your podcast?
We do, yeah. You basically, it's really weird. The podcast app, when you go to leave us a voicemail, it rings my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I can't answer it, but it rings my phone just like a phone call.
Oh,
And it'll
wow.
say that you have a podcast incoming. It always throws me off because I think my phone's ringing.
Yeah.
And then I can swipe it, but it doesn't do anything. It's really weird. It's an odd duck. But yeah. So podcast is called Beyond the Ranch. Oh yeah, I didn't tell anybody how to find it. Thank you, Erin. Beyond the Ranch is what you search for on your iPad or your podcast playing machine.
Kick off your boots, relax.
Yeah, Ryan actually wrote the jingle for our podcast, by the way. He did the music, he did the lyrics, and then our friend Jeff Buell from Nashville actually recorded it.
He did that was a good job he did.
He did
on that
really
song.
good. Yeah. So that was Ryan. So give him some credit, some props.
Can I introduce myself?
You should introduce yourself again because we have to do this constantly.
So I'm Ryan. I have a YouTube channel called Humphrey Family Home. I almost said Holsteins.
Mm-hmm.
My channel is called Humphrey Family Homesteads, and it was Humphrey Family Holsteins, but we've since then sold the cows and we've downsized into a smaller property. The YouTube channel is going to stay active with chickens and gardening and more family-oriented vlogs and stuff like that. So, a subscriber, how do you say it? Please subscribe.
There you go. Yeah.
If that sounds like something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty cool. I mean, you got a lot on your plate, a lot going on.
Yeah,
that you're gonna have to get into.
We've slowed down the output of videos while we're moving, but here in the next week we're going to kick them back up again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you are moved totally now.
Totally moved now. Yep.
Are you put away?
No, we're not unpacked yet.
That seems to happen.
Yeah.
Could a bull breed a donkey? Could a cat breed a dog? No. Where is the drink? This is the only drink I have. But now, thanks to Christy, she sent us a $20 super chat. So now, after we're done here, Ryan and I can go get a Pepsi.
I thought to myself I should bring you some Seagrams, but
I actually tried to order a Seagrams last night. Nobody knew what it was.
Yeah. What did they end up? She give you Crown and
Sprite or something like that. Yeah. So, but it was what it was. All right, Henderson, Texas. Where's Henderson, Texas?
No idea.
Welcome to Texas, Mike. We need to get you a Texas-sized hat, 5-inch brim with high sides. That's from, I think it said Johnny. I've seen those Texas hats.
Yeah.
Those are crazy. They're like the Texas Longhorns. I think that's what they take it from. And I don't know how Texas Longhorns fit through a chute or on a trailer or anything else, and probably the same thing with a hat. I probably bumped right into everything I could.
I've actually seen someone load a Longhorn and they know to turn their head.
Oh, do they really?
It's really interesting.
I've always wondered that, because how do they get them on a trailer?
Yeah, they know where their horns are and don't smack them around.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at 50 minutes already. See, this goes on so fast.
It does.
Isn't it, though? When you have, there's just really cool people. Does Erin do the podcast? Yes, Erin does about 95% of the podcast. She says we record it together, Caleb, but she's the brains behind the whole operation. And there's no camera there, so she can smack me around if she wants to. Not that she does.
You said you could do it in your underwear if you felt like doing it.
You could, yeah, you could do it. It's nice because the podcast for us really is like it's almost like a good place to vent.
Mm-hmm.
There's no cameras. There could be at some point, maybe we'll record one someday, but I think it would be boring to record a podcast. But it's nice because you can actually just kind of talk about our day. And a lot of times our podcasts are recorded the first time that Aaron and I see each other for hours, and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
how'd your day go? Because sometimes there's no way to know.
Yeah,
So,
I did notice that in the few podcasts that I've heard, you do get into a little more personal side of things and stuff that don't necessarily make it into the video. You can elaborate on during your podcast.
yeah, exactly. It's stuff that if Aaron and I are fighting, we might talk about our fight, that fight that we had that day, or we could talk about troubles that we've had in the past, family issues. Talk about the kids quite a bit, stuff that's going on with the kids. Kids are just now starting school, so every time you drop off Lincoln at school, he thinks you're giving him away. He's not sure if you're coming back. Grace has had now a week and a half, or not even a week and a half. She's had a few days of kindergarten and she's done. She's like, I'm good. We're
Ready
good.
for summer again?
Yeah, she's done with kindergarten apparently. Hopefully, she's not. Hopefully, she's not. But apparently, this morning she had a bit of an issue. So, see, they just roll by.
Yeah.
Good morning from Denmark. 4 o'clock in the morning here. Time to get started again. Time to go make the donuts. I don't know if they have that in Denmark. Remember that commercial with Dunkin' Donuts? Donuts. Yeah. You raise meat chickens. You've raised meat chickens.
Yeah.
We never have. Actually, Aaron has in the past, but
it's an interesting process because they grow twice as fast as egg layers, and so in 8 weeks you can have your own food. Right. And if you're feeding organic and that's important to you, you can feed organic, and then you have your own organic food that you can eat in your home, or you can sell it at farmers market, and people at farmers market appreciate organic.
You were doing organic feed.
We were, the non-GMO, which that's a debate that I don't want to get into.
GMO versus non-GMO.
Yeah. But at farmers market, people do appreciate that a little bit. So.
Hey Ryan, when you bought your property, what was the most important thing that you looked for?
The new property. The selling point of the new property really was the huge porch that we have, the wraparound porch with the porch swing, and it's the perfect place to just drink some iced tea or some lemonade. The farm, I wanted to do cows, so I was looking for acreage, but something that wasn't, because down here, I don't know how it is in Wyoming, but it's about $1,000 an acre here, and so I was looking for something that wasn't 100 acres. But something that wasn't just like a backyard or 1 acre. So we got a nice size, like 7 acres that we could start, and we plenty of land around it to expand. So that was the main goal when looking for the property, was a place where I could put cows.
I get a lot of emails from people asking me how to start. Any advice for people that want to start ranching?
Yeah.
And one of the first things I always tell them is, don't worry about being the biggest. Do what you can do and work your way up from there.
Yeah, because when we had the plan to start ranching, I thought to myself, well, I can go to the auction and I can buy like 100 bottle calves or 100 calves. And it just, the closer it got to pulling the trigger, I realized, no, you know what, we're going to start with 2, and then we got the bull. And then we're just going to grow naturally and grow slowly. And that was the plan originally. So that would be my advice to somebody starting out.
If you start too fast, you start too big. It's kind of a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I would say a nice handful of cows would be a good start if you were
Texas Mike. It was great to meet you, Mike. And that must be Texas Mike. It was the other Mike that was here. Great guy, actually a corrections officer from up north of here. We got a chance to sit in the lobby of the hotel, talk for about an hour and a half, along with Stephen and his wife Bobby, and it was a lot of fun to be able to do that. It's something that I rarely get to do. People aren't. There's not too many people rolling through the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, and there is a few. I won't deny that, but it's cool to come down here and then be able to hang out with some folks in the area. And
especially Texans. I like Texans. They're polite, friendly.
They're scary drivers, man.
I will agree.
I'm glad I haven't had to drive since I've been down here yet. There's been like a few with you. There was some scary things. The driver that I had earlier was very scary.
I tried not to be scary, but it's hard because people don't let you over, and you got to make these moves real quick. I've been living in a small town for 7 years now, and so for me to come down here to Dallas, it's nervous driving around down here.
Ross, I can't see all the questions where I'm at. I'm doing this off of a phone, so I can't see all the questions. They pop up on my screen for about 2 seconds. I'm missing a lot of questions, and I do apologize for that, but I'm not seeing them all. So a lot of times they pop up and they're gone, and there's not much I can do about it. I'm not at home, so I don't have my regular setup. You're welcome. Thanks for sharing your life. And yeah, that's from Dennis. Dennis is a really good guy. Dennis is probably like one of the most supportive people on our channel. He's like a big fat ray of sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
He's like always shining down on things. Guy never has a bad thing to say. So, guy looks shady to say the least. You look shady?
Do I?
Maybe.
Are they talking about me?
You might be a shady individual. I actually, I had never met Ryan. I talked to him before I came down here, and he shows up, and you should show him the tattoo that's on your forearm that made me think you might want to murder me when I got here. I was like, great, I'm dead. So yeah, there's a big giant knife on his forearm.
It's a chef's knife. That's a career that I've been in before.
Yeah.
So I'm passionate about cooking, and so that's, yeah. Some people meet me and think like, oh, he might be a serial killer.
There's no blood dripping on it.
No.
We're okay there. I mean,
the beard, the gigantic belly, it throws people off a little bit.
Your mom said to shave.
Ryan, your mom said to shave. Oh, okay.
See, she would like it.
That's, I've never really been good at listening to my mom, so. She's not
How did Matt know it was your mom?
I don't know. Sharon, maybe he thinks my wife is my mom. No, my wife wouldn't want me to shave.
No.
When I met her, I had just a little goatee, and I started growing out the sides and stuff, and she was like, "No, I don't like it." But now that I have it,
if I go for any longer than maybe a week without shaving, Aaron starts dropping the hints. Are you gonna shave today? It's not. You shouldn't say go shave. It's are you maybe thinking about shaving soon?
Subtle hints
within the next like minute and a half.
She'll like slide the razor over to you.
Yeah, exactly. Here's your razor.
Maybe it's just because I'm in I'm shadowed. Maybe I don't know.
It is kind of
I'm not a scary person. I promise you.
No. We did mess with his wife though. So he came down and met me and picked me up here at the hotel before we went downtown and did a little sightseeing. And your wife texted you and asked how was it meeting me?
Yeah.
And so he read the text to me, and I said, send her a text back and say I'm the biggest jerk you have ever met in your life, or something along those lines. And radio silence.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like she didn't answer. She just like, oh crap. Like
she didn't know how to respond to that.
Yeah. And then eventually you did have to tell her.
I sent her we took a selfie.
Yeah. Yeah. And then told her you were just kidding. Then
she was like, phew.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird deal. Like, I always wonder whenever I meet somebody that watches the channel and like, what are they going to think of me?
Yeah.
And people have different, I have bad days too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Aaron and I talk about it occasionally, like when you do meet people that watch the channel, you do have a tendency to perk up. You have to. You have to be a little bit better person than, I can't just be like, oh, damn it. All I want to do is go, whatever.
That kind of reminds me of the story Aaron told when y'all were eating and somebody had their phone and was trying to take a picture.
Yeah.
But if you're eating or maybe you're having a bad day that day, it's like you still feel an obligation to, hey,
perk up a little bit or, shake somebody's hand.
Yeah.
And even here I've had people, walk by and just want to talk to me or, shake my hand or whatever. And it's different, because you can't really have down if I'm home and I'm in my own space, I can be cranky or you can yell at the kids or whatever you're doing, but you can't do that stuff. Erin ran into this situation. She was at the grocery store and the kids were being horrible at the grocery store, and she was on her way back. I got an email from somebody that said, hey, I just saw the Our Wyoming Life lady at the grocery store, and they were all excited about it. They didn't say hi to her. They just saw her either in the grocery store, no, it was in the parking lot. They saw her in the parking lot. So I called Aaron and I said, hey, I just got an email. Somebody just saw you at the grocery store and recognized you and just wanted to tell me. I guess they were telling on her. I don't know. Your wife's at the grocery store. So I told her this and she's like, oh my, the kids were being such brats. And like she was having trouble controlling them, and how that, how you got 3 kids, they outnumber you. You got to do something. So she, she's swatting butts or whatever she's doing. And she's just like horrified. And then I said, no, it was in the parking lot that he saw you. Oh, good, because the kids were actually settled down by the time they were in the parking lot. But now everybody knows that the kids were horrible in the grocery store. Right? The kids were they're just angels all the time. I tell you what.
I mean,
their halos kind of tipped to the side occasionally.
It's pretty universal though. Kids are animals in the grocery store and toy stores.
And toy stores.
Walmart. Your kids will not behave in Walmart. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. There's I think there's something in the air in Walmart that gets them up and going. But there's the kids are the wild card all the time when we're in public. So we do get we still get sideways looks occasionally. We don't really push ourselves locally.
Yeah.
So I don't think a whole lot of people know us locally. In fact, I know a lot don't. But because at Farm to Table, there was people at Farm to Table who didn't know who we were, which was really weird. It's sponsored by Our Wyoming Life, and people didn't know who we were. You want to thank that person?
Yeah, Mr. Valetown, I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing to our channel.
Yeah, and hopefully now you have expectations.
Yeah.
You've got people that are
coming this week. We'll start picking it back up with the videos and stuff. We've been about 2.5 weeks without a video, so we'll get it going again.
Moving is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it's been a big process.
How many miles did you move from the ranch back
not very far, only about 13 miles.
13.
Yeah, so I was making one truckload at a time, so it took us a few weeks to get everything squared away, but we're finally all moved in, and so we can focus back on YouTube.
Cool. Well, we're up over an hour. I'm going to ask this, and Aaron can tell me if it's a good idea or not. Are you guys interested in going outside of our room? I can take you up. I can kind of give you a little tour around the place. I can take you up and show you where the YouTube conference is going on, where everybody is probably up there in some sort of drunken stupor. Or we can just cut it loose. It's totally up to you guys. I really don't have anything else planned that you want to talk about. Aaron, I hope you're doing better. What time on Friday? I don't know what's going on Friday. Let's go for a walk. Matt just did that. Yep. All right, let's go for a walk.
I probably won't follow you up there.
Okay, well, you can cut yourself.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you could get up there because you don't have a badge.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So,
well, I appreciate it. And
Thank you,
again,
sir.
Thanks to everybody from the chat. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch me over here on his channel. And if you go subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. So,
yeah, thank you, Ryan. You're going to take off?
Yep.
Okay. I will see you later.
All right.
Figure out how to leave the phone here without.
Yeah, shoot me a text whenever you get wrapped up.
Okay. Do that.
All right.
All right, let's go for a little walk.